Hey there, crochet lovers! Welcome back to the channel, or if you're brand new here, a huge and warm welcome to you. In today's video, we're diving into a super fun and oh-so-practical project, a darling little crochet glasses holder. This is just perfect for keeping your precious glasses safe and sound, adding a touch of handmade charm to your everyday life, and guess what? It makes an absolutely adorable and thoughtful gift too. If you'd like the full written pattern with step-by-step instructions, head over to my website at crochetstrends.com. It's packed with helpful details, photos, and tips to make this project a breeze. Don't forget to bookmark it for later. Now, when it comes to colors, get ready to unleash your creativity. You can totally use different shades of the same color for a beautifully subtle and coordinated look, or go wild and bold with completely different and vibrant color combinations. It's all about letting your personal style shine. For this incredibly cute glasses holder, I've personally chosen to use Himalaya Himagurumi brand cotton yarn in the most lovely shades of light gray and dark gray. Don't you just think these colors look absolutely gorgeous together? And for this project, I'm using a 3mm crochet hook. Before we jump right into the fun part of crocheting, I would be absolutely thrilled if you could show a little love and support for the channel. If you're excited to crochet along with me today, please take a moment to subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, and share it with all your crafty friends who you think might enjoy making this project too. It truly helps the channel grow and reach more crochet lovers, and I appreciate your support more than words can say. To make sure our finished project has that extra touch of neatness and polish, I'm going to be using 2 strands of this cotton yarn held together, because it's just a tad on the thinner side. Now, if you happen to be using a thicker cotton yarn, you can absolutely stick with a single strand and it will work perfectly. Remember, use what you've got in your stash and what you absolutely love working with. All right, are you ready to get started? Let's jump right in. We're going to begin by making a simple slip knot, and then we'll chain 20 stitches, making sure to keep them nice and loose, not too tight. This chain of 20 stitches should measure approximately 9 centimeters in length. Just a little size guide for you. For our very first row, we're going to work into the second chain from your hook. Right into that second chain, make 3 half double crochet stitches. Work a total of 17 half double crochet stitches, placing 1 stitch into the top of each of the next chain stitches, all the way down to the very end of this row. When you reach that very last chain stitch, we need to create a nice turn to start working on the other side. So, into that last chain, make 3 half double crochet stitches. And now we're heading back up the other side of our foundation chain. Work another set of 17 half double crochet stitches, again, placing 1 stitch into the top of each chain stitch, all the way down to the end of this side of the row. Almost at the end of row 1. When you reach the end of this row, make a slip stitch into the top of the very first chain stitch we made right at the beginning to join it all together into a nice oval shape. Okay, let's start row 2 with a chain 1. And now, we're going to work into those 3 half double crochet stitches that we made in the previous row for turning the corner. Into each of those 3 stitches, we're going to make 2 half double crochet stitches. That's 2 stitches in each of the 3, giving you a total of 6 half double crochet stitches in this corner section. Following the corner, we'll work 17 half double crochet stitches side by side, just like we did in the previous row, until you reach the next turning point, which is where we again have those 3 half double crochet stitches from the previous row. Just like the first corner, into each of those 3 turning stitches, make 2 half double crochet stitches. Starting from row 2, and for all the following rows, placing stitch markers at the beginning and end stitches of these corner turning points is going to be an absolute lifesaver. It will make it so much easier to keep track of your increases and ensure your shaping is perfect. We're almost finished with row 2. At the end of this row, continue working those 17 half double crochet stitches side by side. And to complete row 2 beautifully, make a slip stitch into the top of that very first chain stitch to join. Let's move on to row 3, starting with a chain 1. Now, into the next set of 6 stitches, we're going to follow this simple stitch pattern. Make 2 half double crochet, then 1 half double crochet, then 2 half double crochet, then 1 half double crochet, then 2 half double crochet, and finally, 1 half double crochet. Following this pattern will give you a total of 9 half double crochet stitches in this corner section. Just a little reminder, we will always begin these increased sections in each row by making 2 half double crochet stitches into the very first stitch of the corner section. Let's take a moment to place a stitch marker on top of the 9th half double crochet stitch that we just made in this corner. This marker is really just to help us visually define and keep track of the shaping as we work. After the corner section, continue working 17 half double crochet stitches until you reach the next corner turning point. And just like we did on the first corner, in this second corner section, into the next set of 6 stitches. Work 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, and 1 half double crochet. Continue working 17 half double crochet stitches to reach the end of row 3. To neatly finish row 3, make a slip stitch into the top of the very first chain stitch to join. For row 4, we're going to repeat the exact same steps that we followed in row 3. Easy peasy, right? Start with a chain 1. Into the next set of 9 stitches, work the following stitch pattern. 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, and 1 half double crochet. Continue working 17 half double crochet stitches until you reach the next corner turning point. When you get to the next corner turning point, into the next set of 9 stitches, work the same stitch pattern again. 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, and 1 half double crochet. Work 17 half double crochet stitches again to reach the end of row 4. Finish off row 4 with a slip stitch into the top of the first chain stitch. Let's start row 5 with a chain 1. Now, into the next set of 14 stitches, we're going to work this stitch pattern. 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 1 half double crochet. Make 1 half double crochet stitch in the very last stitch of this corner section and pop a stitch marker on top of it. Continue working 17 half double crochet stitches until you reach the next corner turning point. When you reach the next corner turning point, into the next set of 14 stitches, work the same stitch pattern again. 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 1 half double crochet. Make 1 half double crochet stitch in the very last stitch of this corner section and place another stitch marker on top. Work 17 half double crochet stitches again to reach the end of row 5. Complete row 5 by making a slip stitch in the top of the first chain stitch. For row 6, we're simply going to repeat row 5. Start with a chain 1. Into the next set of 19 stitches, work the pattern. 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet. Continue working 17 half double crochet stitches until you reach the next corner turning point. When you reach the next corner turning point, into the next set of 19 stitches, work the same pattern once more. 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and finish off row 6 with a slip stitch in the top of the first chain stitch. Just to quickly recap and make sure we're all on the same page, in row 6, at each of the corner turning points, you should now have a total of 26 half double crochet stitches, and in between those corner turning points, we have maintained our consistent count of 17 half double crochet stitches. It's exactly the same on the other side too. 26 half double crochet stitches at the corner turning point. And still 17 half double crochet stitches in the straight section between the corners. For row 7, let's start with a chain 1. Then, turn your work around to the other side. Now, we're going to gently fold our piece in half lengthwise and place stitch markers at what appears to be the middle points on both the top and bottom edges. This step is just to help us center the decorative slip stitch section that we're going to work next. Okay, let's get right back to crocheting and finish off this cute holder. We started row 7 with a chain 1 and turned our work, correct? Starting in the very first stitch of this row, we're going to make 6 slip stitches side by side. After the 6 slip stitches, make 1 more slip stitch right at the point where we place that center stitch marker. Following that center slip stitch, make another set of 6 more slip stitches, again working them side by side. So, in total, we've worked 6 slip stitches before the center marker, 6 slip stitches after the center marker, and 1 slip stitch right on the stitch with the marker. Now, for the remainder of row 7, all the way to the very end of the row, we're going to work half double crochet stitches in the top of every stitch from the row just below. Just a little heads up, we are currently working on what will become the wrong side or the inside of our glasses holder. Keep going with those half double crochet stitches all the way to the end of row 7. When you reach the end of row 7, it's time to cut your yarn, and we're going to create a lovely invisible join in the top of that very first slip stitch that we made at the beginning of this row. This technique really gives a nice, seamless, and professional finish. This specific area where we just worked the slip stitches is exactly where we're going to attach the adorable little nose detail a bit later on. And up at these top corners of our holder, we're going to add the cutest little ears using our dark gray yarn. Let's begin with the first ear. Starting from the right side of the center stitch marker that we placed earlier, count back 10 stitches. Fasten your dark gray yarn securely in the top of that 10th stitch. Starting in that very same stitch where you fastened the yarn, make 7 single crochet stitches side by side. After making the 7 single crochet stitches for the ear, you should have 3 stitches remaining between the ear and the center stitch marker. Chain 1. Turn your work to begin working back in the other direction. Starting in the first stitch of this row, work another set of 7 single crochet stitches side by side. Chain 1. Turn your work again. Now we're going to start shaping the ear to make it a bit pointy. Make a decrease over the first 2 stitches right at the beginning of this row. Then, work 3 single crochet stitches side by side in the next 3 stitches. And finish this row by making a decrease over the last 2 stitches at the very end of the row. Chain 1. Turn your work once more. Starting in the first stitch, work 5 single crochet stitches side by side. Chain 1. Turn your work again. Decrease over the first 2 stitches at the beginning of the row to start narrowing the ear. Work 1 single crochet stitch in the next stitch, and finish this row with a decrease over the last 2 stitches at the end of the row. Chain 1. Turn your work again. Work 3 single crochet stitches side by side. Chain 1. Turn your work for the last time for this ear. Now, we're going to make one final decrease over all 3 remaining stitches to neatly finish off the pointy tip of the ear. Chain 1. Cut your dark gray yarn. For the second ear, this time, starting from the center stitch marker, count 4 stitches over to the left. Fasten your dark gray yarn securely in the top of that 4th stitch. Starting in the first stitch, make 7 single crochet stitches side by side. Chain 1. Turn your work to begin the next row. For this second ear, we're going to repeat all of the exact same steps and rows that we just did for the first ear. Just follow the same shaping and stitch counts, and you'll have a perfectly matching pair of adorable ears. Now, we're going to switch over to our white yarn and make the absolutely adorable little nose that goes right on the front of our sweet glasses holder. We'll start by making a magic ring. Chain 1. Work 8 single crochet stitches right into the center of the magic ring. Make a slip stitch into the top of the first chain stitch to neatly close up this round. Chain 1. Make 2 single crochet stitches in the very same stitch where you joined. Now, work 2 single crochet stitches into the top of each of the 8 single crochet stitches from the previous round. Following this increase pattern all the way around will give you a total of 16 single crochet stitches for round 2. Make a slip stitch into the top of the first chain stitch to close up this round. Chain 1. Make 1 single crochet stitch in the same stitch where you joined. Work 1 single crochet stitch into the top of each and every stitch from the previous round, all the way around. Make a slip stitch to join and close up round 3. Chain 1. Make 1 single crochet stitch in the same stitch where you joined. We're going to make a total of 5 rounds for the nose piece after completing the magic ring base. So, for rounds 3, 4, and 5, you will have 16 single crochet stitches in each round, keeping the size consistent. When you have beautifully completed round 5 of the nose, chain 1, and then leave a nice long yarn tail for sewing the nose onto the holder. Cut your white yarn. Now it's time to assemble our cute creation. Center the crocheted nose piece right over that slip stitch section we made earlier on the holder and carefully sew it securely in place using the yarn tail and a yarn needle. Adding the finishing touches, eyes and nose details. For the tiny eyes and those sweet little black dots on the nose, I decided to use some fun glittery craft foam and simply cut out the tiniest circles. If you don't happen to have craft foam on hand, or if you simply prefer to use yarn, you can absolutely embroider or crochet little black dots instead. Get creative and personalize those details to make your glasses holder extra special and unique to you. And believe it or not, that's it. That's absolutely everything I wanted to show you and guide you through in this video tutorial. I truly hope that you found this crochet tutorial helpful, easy to follow, and most importantly, super fun to create along with me. Please let me know in the comments section down below if you enjoyed making this cute glasses holder and if you found the instructions clear. I always love hearing from you and seeing your amazing creations. Before you head off to start on your next amazing project, if you enjoyed this tutorial and you're excited to see even more crochet cuteness and fun patterns, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Subscribing is the absolute best way to make sure you never miss any of my future tutorials. Plus, you'll become a part of our wonderfully supportive and inspiring crochet community, and you'll always be the very first to know about all the brand new projects, patterns, and exciting things happening here. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you loved it, and please feel free to share it with all of your crafty buddies and anyone you think might enjoy a little crochet fun. Wishing you the happiest crocheting, and goodbye for now. Happy hooking!